As always, this family heads out on a vacation. While driving through the forest road, they suddenly find a fallen tree blocking their way. With no way forward, they step out of their RV and start thinking that maybe the tree fell because of strong winds. But then a large number of crows suddenly appear above them, which feels really strange to Jim. So he quickly takes everyone back into the RV, deciding they'll try to move ahead by finding another route. However, when they turn back, instead of finding another road, they end up in a small town they've never seen before. Completely confused, Jim asks the town's sheriff for direction. The sheriff simply tells him to keep driving straight on the same road, so they move ahead again. But after driving for a while, they end up in the very same town. Shocked, Jim can't understand how they came back to the same place. They try again, but once more, they find themselves back in the same town. At this point, the sheriff realizes it's time to finally tell them the truth. Jim starts wondering how they keep going around in circles. When they drive further once again, suddenly another car appears in front of them. Both vehicles are moving too fast, and while swerving to avoid a collision, Jim's RV skids off the road and crashes into the forest. Jim and his family get trapped inside the RV. Meanwhile, the man from the other car reached the town. The sheriff had been preparing to stop Jim and finally tell him the truth. When the man explains the accident, a man takes him to a clinic, while the sheriff goes to the RV and starts trying to get Jim and his family out. After some time, a doctor also arrives, by which point the sheriff has already managed to get Jim's daughter and wife out. But Jim's son's leg was badly injured, so he couldn't be pulled free. Because of this, Jim's wife and daughter are sent to the town, while Jim stays behind with the doctor to rescue his son. As night begins to fall, the sheriff attaches a talisman to the RV. Once it gets dark, several people start gathering around the RV. Jim thinks they've come to help, so he moves to open the door. But the sheriff explains to him that they aren't humans, they're monsters that come out at night to hunt. Jim finally realizes the truth, and meanwhile, the doctor removes the rod stuck in his son's leg. They all stay inside the RV until morning. When daylight comes, the sheriff reveals the full truth about this place. It's like a loop. No one can ever escape, and every night, monsters appear here.